is chairing the meeting. He's around, he just went to the restroom.
That's okay. I'm gonna go right above your head.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget for the boss's first town hall we had.
Yeah.
Beautiful presentations on this one. You know how much you spent
3 months afterwards.
Where?
That one.
Where will it be available?
Oh, where will it be available? You get it to Charlie and it'll be on the minutes.
We can post it on the website.
What?
Okay. Okay, we'll start with Chris Olson.
Thank you. My comment is I'm trying to recruit volunteers for PB counts on August the 11th from 3 to 5 p.m. But first I want to thank all the volunteer board members for the time you spend on this. I know it's a lot of hours, and even the subcommittees and those types of things. 20 years. And glad to see at least we're getting a couple of younger demographics, representation, at least a few people. Actually, kind of tying into the PB counts, when I was chair of the Streets and Sidewalks Committee, we came up with the concept of the PB pathways. And we spent quite a few months researching and fine-tuning it. We went to all the different community groups, came up with a plan that was finally adopted. And then once that got adopted, which was, I don't know, about 10 years ago or so, we realized we needed to collect data related to that so we could see how we change things over time, how it impacts things. So that's what PB counts is. It's a mobility count. We do it once a year, first or second week of August for 2 hours. We count on specific locations, how many people are walking, biking,
Most at the time, by the way.
Yeah.
And so anyway,
Can you please repeat the date and time?
August the 11th, Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. Just go to the beautifulpb.com and say you want to volunteer. And we'll set you up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. All right, please keep in mind that non-agenda public comment is 1 minute.
1 minute.
It is, yes, 1 minute. All right, next on the list we have Jennifer, and then after that we'll just go by hands.
Thanks, you can cut me off, because I'm sure I'll go over. I just want to talk about spaces as places, or placemaking as your groups are calling it. I want to talk about the plastic bollards, the reflective tape, and the painted street murals that are part of that. The plastic bollards splinter and float down the gutters, the reflective tape flutter on the breeze into the stream and down the storm drains, and the painted street murals chafe off and slide into the ocean. These and other traffic calming devices, such as delineators, signs, etc., all are creating more pollution in our ocean. Studies are finding paint to be the single biggest source of microplastic pollution, accounting for 1.9 tons, or 58% of the total volume, being deposited in the world's oceans. From steel ships to houses and buildings that need protection and from rust and rot, as well as the frivolity of murals in the street, attention should be given to by the planning groups, the ad hoc groups, or even community nonprofits as to what role they play in creating a world we can really live in.
Thank you. Okay, we can call on the next person. Okay, you're in the back.
Yeah. More of a question for people that know.
Name, please.
Trevor Gamble.
Trevor Gamble.
Gamble, yeah.
Thank you.
More of a question for someone who knows about zoning in the area. I've just noticed, it seems like most of the time when there's a vacancy, that it's filled up with a smoke shop very quickly. And they're just like multiplying quickly. I don't know if there's a certain number that are allowed in TV or just completely open. So I'd like to get more information on that. I don't know if anyone knows about that.
All right, thank you, Trevor. I saw a hand over here, right there.
Hi, my name is Katie. I'm here as an advocate for the donation-based yoga. It's my understanding that they're trying to move donation-based yoga inland, places like Victoria, East Michigan, and stuff. Which I personally think donation-based yoga is a huge asset to the community. I think a lot of people really get a lot of benefit out of it, and having it in their access to it in their own backyard is really important. So I think that we should keep it along the coast and have it accessible and allowable to the people that live in those neighborhoods and communities. And I also was told that part of the reason that they're trying to move it inland is because the cliffs are eroding, which any member of the public can walk right up to the edge and get hurt or fall or whatever. If that is true, then there should be a giant fence along the entire coast block in that area. You know, it's not just the yoga people that have access to that spot. And then I also feel strongly that service-based businesses.
Katie, can you give us your last name?
Yes, after PBPG.
And it's a donation yoga.
Donation-based yoga, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, let's see, 1 minute over here, and then one right here.
Good evening, Yvonne Velasquez with the Airport Authority. Just want to provide quick updates on the New Terminal 1 project and construction progress. For the first phase, we're about 65% complete. If you have been driving around the airport, the terminal building is now enclosed, which is a great milestone. So now we're working on the internal, which tends to be, takes the longest to work on. And then just exciting news, I shared last time that I was here, the New Chamberlain Parking Plaza is set to open late summer of this year. So I'll be coming back with how you can reserve any parking, or just even learn about the exciting features that we'll have. We really focus on sustainability because that is our focus at the airport. But definitely more to come. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, but pleasure to be here.
First name again?
Yvonne Velasquez.
Eva, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, we have one in right here, and then another one over there, and then we'll start to wrap it up.
My name's Yvette Callahan. I live on the 1300 block of Missouri Street. I'm very concerned, I don't know if it's in your jurisdiction, but I'm very concerned about the lack of streetlights. The streetlights have been out in the street north of us for over a year now. I understand some grant has been awarded and that new streetlights are coming, but those won't be for another year. So my question is, what do we do in the next 12 months? I can tell you in the past 12 months, both the house on our block and the house on a block north of us, rocks were thrown out of the window, windows were shattered. It's pitch black dark at night, and so I'm very concerned about safety. I'm very concerned about people walking and falling because it's pitch black dark. So maybe you can bring it to the city that they should subsidize everybody who lives on the streets and pack it, and you're gonna give them some kind of credit for them to keep the porch lights on up all night. Because it's ridiculous, it's gonna be a year until something's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you catch the name, Scott?
Yvette Callahan.
Okay, perfect. All right, over there.
Hey Charlie, apologize if what I'm saying is on the agenda, but I got a bolt right after this. I live on the 1300 block of Missouri. My name's Alex Rojas. I own Short Point Real Estate as well, over on Hornblend. When I get back home, I can't park because the blockages on Diamond are encouraging, promoting like a run club or something. There's like a few hundred people every Wednesday, every Saturday. And we can't park our car a few blocks away from the rec center, and they take up the whole road. And because of those detours, those blockades, we have more traffic on our street. I mean, you guys have heard this over and over. We've complained and complained. More traffic, higher speed, it's not good. Can we take those out, please?
Thank you, Alex. Any other non-agenda public comment? One right there.
Yep.
What's your name?
Scott Chipman. So about these smoke shops, real big concern. Many of them, I haven't checked them all, but we have a person in the community, Dawn Kamali, who has checked many of them. They're selling psychotropic drugs under basically THC or some other drugs. They're called spice or bath salts. So I think it's important for us to keep these on our radar and actually survey what they're selling, because they're selling drugs and our kids can go in these shops. Thank you.
Is there a distance from the schools that those shops need to be?
Not for smoke shops.
All right, that'll conclude it, or do you have one right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name is Ryan Stock. I'm also the president of Beautiful PD. My non-agenda comment today is about speed limits. There has been, a lot of talk and opinion about speed limits, but when it comes down to it, the people that really know the math, the actuaries, the insurance agencies, they're the ones that have the most calculated assessment on this because money's on the line. In Wales, in the UK, they lowered the speed limit from 25 to 20 in a lot of areas, and over a 6-month period, they saw a 20% reduction in insurance claims. So the tie is pretty direct that speed limits do matter. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. All right, that will conclude it for non-agenda public comment for tonight. We'll now move over to approve the current agenda. However, I do want to entertain a motion to modify the agenda. As you know, I have to send out the agenda 3 days ahead, but yesterday it came to my attention from the traffic department, or the transportation department, that there's 2 projects that they need approval from the community to waive the moratorium. One is the Garnet Everest Mill and Pavement Project, and the Turquoise Street Slurry Steel Project.
motion to take that issue right now.
Right now?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second, okay. Any other discussion from the board? All in favor?
This is the new agenda.
Yes, this is modified, amending the agenda.
I'm sorry, were those items on the agenda at all?
No, they've been sent to me, so I can add them onto the agenda after it's approved.
All right, so these are ready for discussion?
Well, they have a presentation for each of the two guys.
Oh, they're here?
So after, yes, so after we approve adding it, I would like to add those two presentations onto that.
I'd like to put a time limit on it, it's 10 minutes.
Well, I think they said 5 minutes for each, so I think it's perfect.
That works for me.
Okay, so well, I don't think we voted all, and we can get an official vote. So all in favor for approving this agenda? Okay. Any abstentions? One abstention, any against? So that was wrong order. Okay, so we have one abstention, the rest in favor. You said you wanted to do that right now?
My suggestion, if it's
All right.
time sensitive, and I'd like to get it out of the way.
Hey, if we can get more of our government reps out of here, then I'm in favor of it. So why don't we invite up, our transportation department fellows up? They can give their presentations, so they can go home.
You can pay me later.
Evening, everybody. Phil Lowry. Okay, I'm going to talk about, and we'll throw some pictures up in a second, of the intersection of Garnet and Everett's. What we did there is install some curb ramps, ADA curb ramps, as well as some just sort of traffic slowing measures. The issue is that over the years, as the road's been repaved, it's in essence been built up. So now if somebody's in a wheelchair and they're coming off of that ramp, they're gonna get kind of a lip where the surface of the road sits a little too high, so it's not safe. So right now what we have is in essence that crosswalk blocked off to prevent somebody from trying to cross it in their wheelchair. What we'll need to do is mill and pave this. So we'll need to come in with a grinder and basically bring down the level of the surface of the road by about 7 inches, and then we'll put some clean pavement on there. That'll be followed by, about a week later, by striping, and then we'll be done. So really, the two options are either we wait to do this until after summer, the moratorium passes, but that means that crosswalk will not be accessible for the duration. Or this would be a 4-day project where that intersection would be shut down. We mill for a couple of days and then pay for a couple of days. So here's some images. We go to the next slide. Let me see if there's anything that I forgot to mention here. So it'd be a Monday through Thursday, mill and pay. We'd be done working hours 7 a.m. to 1:30 each day. And then striping about a week later. We need to give it enough time for the asphalt to just settle in. Otherwise the white paint turns gray. So, and it's all going to be done by city forces, and I don't know that I have anything else on this. Okay, so we'd be looking at as early as the last week of June. So we could do, I think that's 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Yes, sir.
What's like your level of confidence on that date? My concern would be if it slips past that, it's very quickly, middle of summer to close down kind of.
Oh, that we could meet that day?
Yeah.
We could absolutely meet that day.
Absolutely.
We've already got it on, we have it planned, it's all been marked out, we have all the, yeah, we're ready to go. So, yes, sir.
I fully understand the wheelchair accessibility, and I think we all support that, but the pop-outs, what do you expect this board to do? I mean, you've already started work, you just want to rubber stamp, or, you've already implemented the pop-outs.
Right, the pop-outs are done, and the ramps are done. This is just for the street surface, so that we can reopen that crosswalk. And so this is just a matter of, do we want to wait to do that work until after summer? Meaning that we would still have the sort of, it blocked off so that people don't use the crosswalk. But then the road would not be impacted, or do we take the 4-day impact to the road so that we can get the street surface lowered so it's safe for people to traverse in a wheelchair?
And the reason for the pop-outs was for traffic calming?
Yes.
Okay, we have a comment, question from John and Scott.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what, other than the crosswalk being closed as it is now, I thought it said how much actual closure is happening. just kind of summarizing this, I'm not quite sure I understand. It's Monday through Thursday, the intersection will be closed for
Yes.
4 days? Okay. And what is, that happens anytime, I think it's an issue. But, so, what it doesn't say on here is how people get around that impediment. Is it gonna be clearly signed detour that takes people
Yes,
around
we
that?
would do
And you
traffic.
know what that's gonna be?
I don't have that on the slides. It would be, the bus stop would be impacted, so it would have to get deferred to the next bus stop. And actually, can we go back to the top and see if we have, I don't think I have a map of them.
Yeah.
I don't.
That right side photo is showing the lip that's the problem, right?
Yes, I think that shadow may make it look a little more gargantuan than it is, but it's still a bigger lip than it's safe to.
So I think it's John, if John is asking, what's the detour?
What's going to be?
The traffic one?
Are you
Well,
talking
street-
about the traffic pattern?
Yeah, the traffic pattern, because the street, I'm not clear, Garnet's gonna be closed or Everett's? You're closing this entire intersection.
This intersection.
Yeah, so
Because
people
that
will probably
entire area
go
would need to be repaved.
at both Manual and then, Dawes, people will probably have to go north and south around.
Then, Phil, to add, it's from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., correct? It would be
The-
open anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, another question or comment?
So understand that they'll be working for those days, but the intersection will only be closed from 7 to 1:30, or no?
Yes, the intersection can be reopened once it's been milled. It's gonna be a rough surface, but it can be reopened.
Well, I'm just asking, because it says working hours are from 7 to 1:30.
That's when it'll be noisy.
That's when they're gonna work, but are they gonna reopen it for like, say, nighttime?
It can be reopened, yes.
I mean, that, I would be a little more concerned on closure at night than, and having people going through the neighborhoods than during the day. It seems like, a little easier to see people walking across the street and stuff in the neighborhoods during the day. That would be only my suggestion, that if you can reopen it after they're done working.
It doesn't sound clear, did you say that it will open at 1:30?
It will be rough. It can be reopened, yes, we can.
He did not say it will reopen. He said it can.
Well, who decides whether it reopens or doesn't reopen?
If the consensus is that that's the deciding point, then I'll take that back, we'll staff it, and we'll determine a way to make sure that we keep it.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve as long as the intersection can be reopened at the end of construction each day. It could be like speed limit reduced to 10 miles per hour through the intersection. That would be prudent, right?
Well, yes, I mean, it's.
You're saying you can drive, but it's gonna be rough. It just
Exactly,
means,
right, it'll just be ground down.
yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I'll continue that motion with the idea that the intersection will be open at the end of construction, approximately between 1:30 and 2.
So the motion is to approve waiving the moratorium for this project
That's
on
correct.
condition that it's open when there's not construction. All second. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay, so unanimous. Okay, we can switch over to,
We almost made 5 minutes.
yeah. Almost.
I'll try to go quick.
Okay.
All right, hi everyone, I am Maggie McCormick. I'm an Assistant Deputy Director in the Transportation Department overseeing engineering and asset management in the Streets Division. I'm here to speak about request a summer moratorium waiver for Turquoise Street. We are going to apply a slurry seal over the current scrub seal there. I'll provide more information in the slides. I did want to provide just a quick overview since we're here. I'm just pavement management in the city of San Diego, but it's 5 minutes, so we'll go fast. I'm with the Transportation Department. Transportation Department is responsible for maintaining the inventory of the pavement network throughout the city of San Diego, as well as doing condition assessments of our current pavement and ultimately providing recommendations on what streets get paved and when. We work closely with all of these other departments, such as sustainability and mobility, on implementing mobility improvements to our projects, and engineering and capital projects maintains our overlay program.
little overview of the program that we manage. So at Transportation, we manage the maintenance program. Our maintenance treatments are shown here on the left. Maintenance treatments are applied to roads that are in satisfactory and fair condition. And when I say a maintenance treatment, I'm talking about something like a slurry seal, which I think many of you are used to. This current fiscal year, we started implementing 3 new treatments on our roads, crack seal, cape seal, and scrub seal. These are intended to address roads that are in this fair condition category that previously weren't able to be addressed by slurry seal. So they're meant for roads that are in too poor of condition to receive a slurry seal, but maybe good enough that they don't necessarily need a more expensive asphalt overlay. So Turquoise Street is one of these streets, and I'll go into what a cape seal is, which is what we're going to apply to Turquoise Street. Okay, so Turquoise Street will be receiving what is called a cape seal. It previously in May timeframe or April timeframe received what's called a scrub seal. So once again, these are 2 new treatments that we're implementing on our road. Little background on these treatments. They first start by applying an asphalt emulsion and then putting a crushed aggregate on the street. And then 1 to 3 days later, they are sealed with either a fog seal, which is kind of like a thin seal layer, thinner than a slurry seal. If it's sealed with a fog seal, that makes it a scrub seal. You'll see the picture on the left, it's a little bit more kind of rougher texture. Other times it can be sealed with a slurry seal on top, which makes it a cape seal. Scrub seal was applied to Turquoise Street back in April or May of this year. We've received concerns from residents in the Pacific Beach community as well as other communities throughout the city of San Diego about the roughness of the texture of the scrub seal. And so we recently had a change order approved yesterday to turn these scrub seal streets into a cape seal street. Cape seal, it has a slurry seal on top and it's a smoother texture that residents are more used to. So the extent of the project really is, here's Turquoise Street. It goes from Michigan Boulevard to Faneuil. A scrub seal has been applied to this. We now would like to apply a slurry seal over the scrub seal to address those resident concerns with the treatment. And it is located within the Summer Beach Construction Moratorium area, which is why we're here. And the next slide is impacts. Just an overview of the timeline. So the road will be closed 1 day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. We need to apply a slurry seal over the road to make it a cape seal. We plan on doing that on July 1st. At which time the road will be closed for 1 day. And then about 15 days later, we'll strike the road. The road will be open to traffic at that time. We will not be closing the road. And then in August, we will have to elevate some of the appurtenances, so some of the manholes and survey monuments, raise them to grade. At that time, the road will also not be closed. Traffic will be able to go on the road. So really, 1 day impact here. To Turquoise Street, we need to shut down the road for 1 day to apply the slurry seal to address the resident concerns. And that is it.
All right, questions?
I think this falls under the category of a stitch in time saves 9. If we were slurry sealing all of our San Diego streets, we would never have to repave, for example, Ingram, that has taken years to get done. Slurry seal, I just did 100,000 square foot parking lot slurry seal because if you can see the aggregate, you know it's going to start falling apart. So I know a little bit about it, but it's a 1 day closing. I would make a motion to accept the moratorium moratorium waiver.
Okay, well, there's been a motion. Do we have a second?
Second motion.
Okay, there's a second. Any other discussion, questions?
Yeah, let's see, a couple of questions. Okay, so one, I guess, just comment, the chip seal or the scrub seal is really rough. It's like basically compact gravel. It's like not pleasant to drive on, it's very loud, there's definitely reason not doing that. On Turquoise Street is on the PD Pathways Network, or I believe it's a bike, it's on the countywide bike network. Yeah, is there any plans to change the striping on that road or any other?
I believe this is a replacing striping in kind on this.
It's just in kind.
Yes.
Yeah. Would that include any like crosswalks? Like are those like the zebras wherever they aren't? Could that be upgraded?
So there's no upgrades as part of, to the striping as part of this project, it's all replacing in kind. So if there are existing crosswalks out there that need to be repainted, then that will be done at this time.
Okay, so it's just in there.
Yes.
So nothing will be changed, nothing will be changed.
Yeah,
So like, it's a big opportunity
no
to-
improvements to the striping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one question on here.
Yeah, I think this is great. I just have a quick check for you to do. Garnet, when it meets Balboa,
Okay.
it's not been striped and it's been quite some time.
Okay, was it done recently? Was it-
It's been at least 30 days.
Okay.
It's a Monday.
Okay, but, that's it.
Okay, we're just gonna keep the questions, comments to the board, we're gonna move forward. Sorry.
I guess just to ask one more thing. Is there any opportunity to add enhancements to like crosswalks, like finishing or striping where existing crosswalks exist?
This project has already been bid out to the contractor as striping in kind, but I will talk to our mobility section of our department and let them know that that's been a request from the community.
Okay.
We can add that as a friendly amendment, not that it's required, but we request that the striping be upgraded.
Like when the city does it generally and understand that it's not.
You're gonna have to restripe.
Yes, we will have to
So-
restripe, but, so we go out to bid and let the contractor know what the striping is going to have to be, and so this would be a change order to the contract. If the striping is gonna be different than what we told them originally, as part of the contract.
Okay, so would somebody make a friendly amendment to the motion to add a request to see the city will?
Yeah, Remy was doing that.
Yeah, I would like to add, amendment to just comment to the city that when they do repaving of any kind of restriping, that they should aim to make, upgrades to the network in the form of crosswalks.
Isn't it kind of a new standard, right?
Yeah, so we tried to do this for, as many of our paving projects as possible. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the pavement management plan. We have a very large funding deficit right now, and so I think the striping is largely funding dependent. And we have about a $1.2 billion deficit over the next 10 years when it comes to pavement, and I think that's largely probably the reason that striping's not done in every single street segment.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand the like reason behind like just get as much done as possible.
Yeah.
Put that on.
Okay, let's take it to a vote. All in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. All right, well, thank you very much to our transportation friends. We will send them on their way. We will. Okay, yes, yes, sir. Yeah, I can throw that too. Yes. Okay. All right, we can proceed back to business as usual.
Thank you very much.
Okay, okay, we did not vote on the May 15 minutes. That was sent out to the board. Do I have a motion to approve the May minutes?
May 8th.
Is that, oh, nice. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the May minutes? Motion is made, second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay, any
I'm just gonna see, but I have it for
Okay, abstention?
Yes,
Okay.
I wasn't here.
All right, so 2 abstentions.
No, 802.
Yes. Okay, all right, planning group vice chair's report, all right, that's me. Okay, so, I did want to thank, those on the planning board for attending the community expo on behalf of the planning group. I was off doing other things, but many people here were representing the planning group to all of those families and community members, so I'd like to thank everybody who was able to show the planning group's best face. I also did want to, mention one other thing. So the planning group's participation in the community expo was a great step for trying to get more outreach for the planning group. Beach Fest this year is going, which is also another event we attend annually, has different rules. I forget the specific details off the top of my head, but I know that the shift for community groups now in the community area is going to be around 12 to 10-hour shift. And so we typically participate in that. The fee has also been raised to, I believe, $75. And so the planning group for the next few months will have to think about if we're going to commit to that. There is no ability to break down early or leave early or come late, so we would have to commit to that whole time to figure that out. So it's just something for the board to think about. It is a great opportunity, but it did make it really difficult this year to participate.